Night covered the alien forest with a cold blue light. Tall crystal trees stood like silent watchers. Their glowing branches moved gently, as if whispering secrets to the wind. In the middle of this strange and lonely world ran a small alien girl. Named Lyra, her silver skin was shaking, and her bright purple eyes were full of fear. She kept looking behind her as loud, mechanical footsteps chased her through the shadows. Lyra had escaped from a research outpost. She had seen things there that no child should ever see. Strange machines, harsh voices, experiments on her people. She ran because she believed there was still hope somewhere in the dark. She ran because she wanted to live. Her breaths came out in quick bursts as she stumbled over roots and soft glowing stones. Her thin arms hugged herself tightly. She felt the cold night pressing on her bones. The forest was alive but silent, and Lyra felt smaller with each passing second. She had no family left, no friends, no home. Only fear. Then she stopped. She sensed something. A presence ahead of her, near a twisted crystal tree. Not a machine, not one of the hunters. Something warm, someone breathing. Her heart jumped. Fear warned her to run in the opposite direction. But loneliness spoke louder. She had not felt kindness in a long time. So she moved slowly toward the shadowy figure standing under the tree. A human man stood there dressed in simple dark clothing. His back was turned, and he looked calm as if he did not fear the forest at all. He carried no heavy armor, no shining weapons. Only a small pack and a soft blue light hovering near his shoulder. His presence felt stable, firm, and strangely peaceful. Lyra hesitated. Humans were known to be powerful and dangerous. They ruled big parts of the galaxy. Her people whispered that humans were cold-hearted conquerors. She took one small step backward, but the man turned before she could leave. His eyes were calm. Not wild, not cruel, just steady. He did not move closer. He did not raise a hand. He only looked at her with quiet understanding, as if he already knew she was in pain. Lyra opened her mouth, but no words came. Her throat felt locked. Her legs trembled, and finally she whispered something she thought she would never say to a stranger. Just hold me. The words fell from her lips like pieces of her broken heart. She expected the human to laugh or reject her. She expected him to call the hunters and hand her over. Humans always took control. Humans always wanted something, but the man did not ask anything. He stepped forward very slowly, letting her see that he meant no harm. His movements were gentle and calm. When he reached her, he lowered himself to her eye level and opened his arms in a warm, welcoming gesture that Lyra could not stop shaking. She stepped closer, then closer again. And finally, she pressed her small body against him. His arms wrapped around her softly. His warmth covered her like a blanket. She had been missing for too long. For the first time in months, she felt safe. The man stayed quiet, letting her cry into his chest. His breathing stayed steady and strong like a shield around her. He did not hurry her. He did not judge her. He simply let her exist without fear. When her tears slowed, she pulled back and looked at him. The blue light near his shoulder reflected in his deep brown eyes. He looked like any normal traveler. Yet something about him felt different. Something powerful. Something hidden behind his calm voice. "What is your name?" she asked softly. Man smiled a small, gentle smile. "You can call me Oren," he said. Lyra nodded slowly. She did not know yet that this quiet man was no simple traveler. She did not know that his name was whispered across entire star systems. She did not know that he was one of the most powerful humans in the galaxy, a billionaire leader who controlled fleets, companies, and world-changing technologies. That she only knew one thing. When she begged for comfort, this man held her without question, and somewhere deep in the forest, the mechanical footsteps grew louder. The hunters were still coming. But Oren did not look afraid at all. His calm smile stayed the same, as if he had already decided that nothing in this galaxy would hurt the girl standing beside him. The forest around Lyra glowed in soft blue light as she stood beside Oren. For a moment she felt safe. For a moment she believed the night could not hurt her anymore, but the calm air soon shifted. A distant metal roar rolled through the trees. Lyra froze. She knew that sound. Hunter drones. She looked up at Oren with wide, frightened eyes. He did not panic. His face stayed calm as if the danger approaching was nothing more than a passing breeze. His hand rose just slightly, telling her to stay behind him. She felt her heart shake, but something about his quiet confidence made her trust him. Oren turned his head and listened. The forest vibrated with the heavy steps of machines. Lyra expected him to run. That was what everyone did when these machines arrived, but Oren stood still with a steady posture. He watched the shadows between the trees with eyes that seemed to understand the world in ways she could not. Lyra whispered softly, "They are close, we must hide." Oren shook his head. "Once, we will not hide. We will move, but we will not hide." His voice was calm and warm, yet full of strange strength. He walked forward and Lyra followed because she could think of nothing else to do. Her legs felt weak, but his steady pace felt like a path she could trust. The forest opened into a narrow trail made of cracked stone and glowing roots. Oren walked with a quiet rhythm, as if he had walked this same path many times before. Lyra watched him closely. He moved like someone trained for danger. Every step quiet, every glance controlled. Nothing about him felt like a simple traveler. The sound of drones grew louder. Branches shook as mechanical bodies pushed through the undergrowth. Lyra could almost feel the machines scanning the world, searching for her, targeting her. She bit her lip to stop a cry from escaping. Then Oren stopped walking. He looked up. He breathed in slowly. He seemed to count something in his mind. Lyra waited for fear to show on his face. It never did. A drone burst through the trees with glowing red eyes. It spotted them and released a sharp alarm sound. Lyra cried out and clung to Oren's arm, but Oren did not flinch. He stepped forward and pressed something on the small device attached to his wrist. A soft wave of blue energy pulsed out from his hand. The drone shook as if confused. The alarm cut off. Its red eyes faded to dull gray. Then the machine dropped to the ground with a heavy thud. Lyra stared with disbelief. "You shut it down, but how? No one can do that." Oren answered in a calm tone, "I have studied these machines. They have weak points." He walked past the fallen drone as if it were nothing important. Lyra followed with trembling steps. Her mind raced. She had seen soldiers try to destroy these drones and fail. She had seen entire villages run from them. Yet Oren shut it down with one simple pulse of energy. Who was this man? They reached a sheltered cave entrance, beneath a cluster of crystal trees. Inside the cave, soft blue moss glowed on the walls. The air felt warmer. Oren placed his pack on the ground and motioned for Lyra to sit. "You are safe here for now," he said. Lyra sat on a smooth stone and wrapped her arms around her legs. She watched Oren prepare a small energy lamp. He worked with quiet focus. She noticed that his hands were steady even though danger had been moments away. His calmness felt almost unreal. "You knew they would find us," she said softly. "You were not afraid." Oren looked at her with gentle eyes. "Fear is useful, but it does not lead me." Lyra lowered her gaze. She thought of her people. She thought of the fear that ruled them. She wished she could be calm like him. Oren sat across from her. "You are strong, Lyra. I saw that the moment you looked at me. You survived what many could not." His words warmed something deep inside her heart. She had felt weak for so long, forgotten, lost, but his voice made her believe she was more than a frightened child. Suddenly another distant roar echoed through the forest. More drones. They were not giving up. Lyra felt fear returning. Oren stood and adjusted the strap on his pack. "They are searching for you because you matter," he said. "And I will not let them take you." Lyra lifted her head. "Why, you do not know me." Oren smiled his calm, steady smile. "I do not need to know you to protect you." His words felt strong enough to move mountains. Yet Lyra still did not know the truth. The man who spoke with such gentle confidence was not just a traveler. He held power that could shake entire star systems. And soon she would learn exactly how far his protection reached. The cave glowed with soft blue moss as night settled deeper across the alien forest. Lyra sat near the warm energy lamp Oren had placed between them. The gentle light wrapped both of them in a peaceful circle. Outside the cave, mechanical roars faded in and out like distant thunder. The hunters had not given up. They were searching every corner of the land. Oren watched the cave entrance with quiet focus while Lyra hugged her knees. She felt safer than she had in a long time, yet the fear inside her mind still lived like a small flame that refused to die. After a long silence, she looked at Oren. "They will come again," she whispered. "They always come again." Oren nodded. Slowly, he did not pretend the danger was gone. He did not offer empty promises. "They will search through the night, but they will not find you here." His calm voice felt like a steady hand on her shoulder. Lyra looked around the cave. She noticed the way the ground seemed disturbed in neat patterns. She noticed strange markings near the entrance. Oren had prepared this place long before they arrived. That made her wonder even more. "Oren," she said softly, "you knew this cave was here. You knew the path. You shut down the drone. You act like someone trained for everything. Are you a soldier?" Oren shook his head with a small, thoughtful smile. "No, not a soldier," Lyra frowned. "Then what are you?" Oren did not answer right away. He looked toward the glowing moss as if thinking about distant memories. "Sometimes," he said gently, "people carry stories they cannot share until the right moment." Lyra lowered her gaze. She understood that feeling too well. After a moment, she spoke again. "My people believed humans were cold, that humans cared only for power. We believed humans wanted to control every world they touched." She looked up, waiting for anger or denial from him. But Oren only listened with a calm expression that made her feel respected. Lyra continued with a trembling voice. "We were told that humans built the corporation that came to our world. We were told that the humans ordered the experiments. And when the outpost attacked us, we thought humans were nothing but conquerors." Her voice cracked with old pain. Oren leaned forward slightly. "Lyra, many things in this galaxy are shaped by fear. Fear changes truth. Fear hides real intentions. Not all humans choose violence. Not all humans want control." Lyra shook her head. "But the corporation does. They took my world. They took my people. They took everything." Oren studied her face. "And you think I am like them?" Lyra hesitated. She wanted to say no, but she had lived through too much pain to trust easily. "I do not know what you are," she whispered, "but you are not like them. When I begged for help, you did not turn away." Oren smiled softly at her words. It was the kind of smile that held warmth and sadness at the same time. A smile that carried weight. Outside the cave, a sharp metal howl echoed through the forest. Lyra shivered. Oren stood and walked to the entrance. He placed a small round device on the stone floor. A faint shield shimmered across the opening. Lyra watched him closely. "That is advanced tech. Only High Command uses that tech. How do you have it?" Oren turned back to her. "I have walked through many worlds. I have seen many things. I carry what I need to protect the people who walk beside me." Lyra stared at him. The mystery around him grew bigger with every passing moment. "Oren, why are you helping me? You could have left me. You could have walked away." Oren returned to sit across from her. His expression softened. Because you remind me of something I lost, a promise I once made. And because no child should be hunted, Lyra felt a strange warmth in her chest. She wanted to ask more, but fear held her tongue. Instead she said, "Can you tell me the truth? Please, I do not want to be in the dark anymore." Oren breathed slowly. The cave lights made shadows dance across his face. "Very well. I will tell you a part of the truth." Lyra leaned forward. "I know the corporation that captured your people. I know their codes. I know their commanders. I know their mistakes. I know what they hide from the galaxy." Lyra's heart beat faster. "How do you know all that?" Oren looked into her eyes. "Because I have been watching them for a long time. Because I understand how they work. Because they once belonged to me." Lyra went still. Her breath stopped. Her mind froze. What did he mean? Belonged to him. How could that be true? Oren's calm voice carried a weight she had never heard before. "There are secrets in the stars, Lyra, and soon you will learn exactly who I am." The cave fell silent as the truth hung between them like a rising storm. Night grew colder as Lyra sat frozen in the quiet cave. Oren's final words echoed in her mind. "They once belonged to me. The corporation that destroyed her world. The same force that hunted her people. The same machines that chased her until she could barely stand. How could this calm, gentle stranger be connected to something so powerful and cruel?" Lyra stared at him with wide eyes. She wanted to speak, but her voice felt trapped. Oren waited without pressure. He did not look proud. He did not look cruel. Instead, he looked tired, as if he carried a weight so heavy that few could understand. Before Lyra could gather her thoughts, a sharp metallic scream ripped through the forest. The sound shook the cave floor. Oren shifted his attention instantly. His eyes sharpened. All warmth faded from his expression. He stood in one smooth motion and checked the shield at the cave entrance. "They found us faster than I expected," he said in a calm, low tone. "We must prepare." Lyra jumped up. Fear flooded her again. No, I cannot go back. They will take me again. They will hurt me again." Oren placed a hand on her shoulder. "No one will touch you while I draw breath." His words carried a quiet force that made her breathing steady for a second. Then the forest exploded with motion. Branches snapped. Leaves fell like glowing rain. 5 armored mercenaries pushed through the crystal trees. Their armor shone with cold silver light. Their helmets carried the mark she feared more than anything. The mark of the corporation. Lyra backed away until her shoulders hit the cave wall. Her heart pounded so hard she felt dizzy. One of the mercenaries stepped forward and shouted, "Target located. Lyra unit. High value. Prepare for capture." Oren stepped outside the cave with the calmness of a man walking into the morning sun. He did not raise a weapon. He did not hide. He simply stood tall and looked at the armored figures. The mercenaries raised their rifles. Energy hummed in the air. "Human male, step aside. You have no authority here." Oren tilted his head slightly. "Is that so?" The lead mercenary took another step. "Move or be neutralized." Oren lifted his wrist and tapped a small device. A faint wave of light scanned across the mercenaries. Their visors flickered as if someone far above their rank had just accessed their systems. Then Oren spoke in a voice Lyra had never heard from him before. It was calm. It was cold. It was commanding. It was the voice of a ruler. "Stand down, now." The mercenaries froze. Their rifles lowered without hesitation. Their bodies locked into strict posture. The lead soldier spoke in a shaking voice. "Yes, sir. Identification confirms. We did not know you were present." Lyra could not breathe. They were afraid of him. These armored hunters who terrified entire villages bowed before him like he was the center of their world. Oren stepped closer. "You were ordered to capture a child. You were ordered to perform actions that break every law of the Interworld Treaty. Report your commanding officer now, the mercenary stuttered. Director Varys, sir. The orders came directly from him. Oren's eyes darkened. A storm lived in them now. Tell him he just attacked someone under my protection. Tell him he will answer for it. The mercenaries nodded quickly. Of course, sir. Permission to retreat. Oren pointed toward the forest with SLO-controlled motion. Go, and erase the tracking logs. If you touch this child again, your command will fall. The mercenaries ran without another word. Their heavy steps faded into the glowing forest. Silence returned. Lyra stared at Oren with shaking breath. You command them. They fear you. Who are you? Oren looked at her with a new heaviness. My name is Oren Halle, and I built the corporation that hunts you. I built it to create unity and progress, not this cruelty. Someone twisted my creation into something dark. Lyra stepped back. You built it, everything, all the pain, all the terror. It came from something you made. Oren nodded with sadness. Yes, that is why I must fix it. That is why I cannot let them take you. You are proof that my vision was corrupted, and I will not allow innocent lives to be destroyed. In my name, Lyra wanted to run. She wanted to scream. Yet something held her still. Oren had protected her. He had fought for her. He had risked everything to keep her safe. Even now he carried no anger toward her fear. Oren lowered his head slightly. You do not have to trust me yet, but understand this. I am not your enemy, and I will stand against anyone who harms you. Lyra breathed in slowly. Her fear remained. But behind that fear, something new awakened. Something she did not expect. A fragile hope. A belief that maybe this man who once built an empire could now use it to save her world. The glowing forest returned to silence after the mercenaries vanished into the trees. The air felt heavy. Not with danger, but with truth. The truth Oren could no longer hide. Lyra stood at the cave entrance watching him. Her heart beat like a trapped bird. She wanted to run far away, yet her feet stayed rooted as if tied to the ground. Oren stepped back into the cave. His calm face now carried a deep sadness. A sadness shaped by choices that had changed entire worlds. He placed his pack on the ground and sat beside the glowing moss. Lyra remained standing, unsure if she should move closer. You built the corporation, she said in a soft, trembling voice. You created the thing that destroyed my home. Oren nodded once. He did not defend himself. Yes, I built it. Years ago I believed I could unite different worlds through progress and shared resources. I thought I could create peace. But power attracts the wrong people. Over time the corporation twisted into something dark while I was forced to fight battles far from my own creation. Lyra stared at him with wide, confused eyes. Then why did you return? Why now? Why me? Oren looked at her with steady focus. I returned because I discovered the corruption was deeper than I believed. Someone inside my leadership ranks gained control and began using my systems for illegal experiments. When I learned they targeted your species, I came back to stop them. Lyra shook her head. But you did not come with an army. You did not come with ships or soldiers. You came alone. Oren gave her a small, sad smile. Armies attract attention. Armies cause fear. Sometimes the best way to fix a broken empire is to walk through its shadows without anyone knowing the truth. His words felt heavy and real. Not the voice of a conqueror, but the voice of someone trying to repair something he once loved. Lyra moved closer, though fear still clung to her mind. You knew they hunted me. You knew what they did to my people. Yet you acted like a simple traveler. Oren lowered his gaze. I wanted you to see me as a person first, not a title, not a ruler, not the man who built your nightmares. Only a stranger who wanted to help. Lyra swallowed hard. It worked. I trusted you. And now I do not know if I should keep trusting you. Oren nodded again. That is your choice. Trust cannot be forced. It must be earned. Silence grew between them. The blue moss flickered softly on the walls. Lyra walked to the opposite side of the cave and sat down. Her mind spun with thoughts. She remembered how Oren held her when she begged for comfort, how he shielded her from drones, how he commanded mercenaries like a king stepping from legend. Everything felt unreal, yet she had seen it with her own eyes. She looked at him again. If you created the corporation, then why would someone else control it? Why do they not follow your command? They listen to you today. Oren ran a hand through his dark hair with slow, tired motion. The corporation grew far larger than any one person. Many leaders hold power now. Some follow me. Some pretend to follow me. Some work against me while hiding behind my name. The ones hunting you answer to a man named Director Varys. He wants to prove he is stronger than me. So he uses fear to build his authority. Lyra tensed at the name. He is the one who ran the outpost. He is the one who ordered the experiments. He told us we were nothing, that we were only tools for human progress. Oren's expression hardened. Then Varys has gone too far. He will be removed. Lyra studied Oren for a long moment. You say that so easily, as if removing him is nothing. Oren looked at her with deep, steady eyes. When someone threatens innocent lives under my watch, I do not hesitate. Power means nothing if it cannot protect those who cannot protect themselves. His words carried a quiet strength that unsettled her, yet also comforted her. Lyra hugged her knees and stared at the cave floor. If you are so powerful, then why did you hug me when I asked? Why did you not act like a ruler? Why did you look so normal? Oren's expression softened again. Because the title does not define the man. And because in that moment you did not need a ruler, you needed someone who cared. Lyra felt her chest tighten. Tears touched her eyes, though she fought them back. She had spent so much time running from cruelty that she forgot what kindness felt like. She wiped her face quickly and whispered, "You are not the monster I expected." Oren looked away for a moment. I have made mistakes, Lyra, many mistakes, but I will not let this galaxy take your people from you. I promise you that. Lyra breathed in slowly. Something heavy inside her heart began to shift. She did not forgive him completely, but she no longer saw him as the enemy, not fully. Not anymore. Outside the cave, the forest wind whispered through the crystal trees as if carrying the voices of distant stars. Lyra moved closer to Oren and sat beside him. She did not speak, she only watched him with new eyes. Eyes that carried fear and curiosity and a fragile hope that refused to die. Oren remained silent as well. But in his silence there lived strength. A strength Lyra knew she would need for what came next, because Director Varys would not stop. And Oren Hale had just taken his first step into open war. Morning light slowly reached the crystal forest as Lyra and Oren stepped out of the cave. The world around them looked peaceful. But both of them knew peace was only a thin shell covering something dangerous beneath. Oren scanned the trees with careful eyes. Lyra watched him closely. He moved like a man who had walked into storms many times and survived each one. Lyra held her hands against her chest. What will happen now? The mercenaries will tell Director Varys that you interfered. He will come after you. He always punishes anyone who blocks his orders. Oren looked down at her with steady, calm expression. He will try. But he does not understand the limits of his power. He believes he controls the corporation. He believes he controls me. Soon he will discover how wrong he is. Lyra felt fear twist inside her stomach. You are only one man, Oren smiled. A small, gentle smile that held more strength than any weapon. One man with the right knowledge can change the path of an empire. They began walking through the glowing forest. The light crystals on the trees shifted as they passed. Lyra walked a little behind Oren. She studied the shape of his shoulders, the steady rhythm of his steps, the way he seemed ready for danger. At any moment. She knew he had many secrets, but she also knew he carried a deeper purpose now. After a while, Lyra asked softly, "What will you do to Varys?" Oren kept walking as he answered, "I will expose what he has done. He has hidden his crimes behind locked files and secret orders. But I know every part of the systems he uses. I built them. And once the galaxy sees what he has done, he will lose everything." Lyra hesitated. "Will he surrender?" Oren gave a quiet, thoughtful breath. "Men like Varys surrender only when they have no ground left to stand on. He is not chasing you for science or research. He is chasing you because he wants power. He wants to control something rare, something unique, something that proves he is greater than others." Lyra felt a cold chill. "My people. We never wanted power. We only wanted to live quietly. That is why he fears you," Oren said. "People who want peace threaten those who want domination. Peace shows their cruelty for what it really is." They reached a ridge overlooking a wide valley, filled with fog. Oren stopped and pointed toward the horizon. "There is an old transport station on the other side. If we reach it before night, we can access my private channel. Once I connect to my network, the truth about Varys will spread through every level of the corporation." Lyra nodded, though worry grew inside her heart. "He will try to stop you before that happens." Oren looked at her with something warm and protective in his eyes. "Then let him try. I am done hiding." They walked down the ridge, but halfway across the valley, a loud boom cracked through the air. The ground trembled under their feet. Lyra grabbed Oren's arm as a wave of thick smoke burst from the far side of the valley. Oren narrowed his eyes. "They destroyed the transport station. They knew where we were headed." Lyra's voice shook. "They are blocking every path. They want me trapped." Oren stepped in front of her with firm confidence. "No, they want to corner me. You are the bait. They believe capturing you will force me into negotiations. They believe fear will control me." He looked toward the smoke with cold determination. "But fear does not lead me. I am led by truth, and by the promise I made you." Lyra felt her heart warm and ache at the same time. "What promise?" Oren turned fully toward her. "To protect you. To protect your people. To undo the damage created in my name." His words wrapped around her like a shield stronger than any metal. Before she could speak again, a shadow dropped from the sky. A landing craft, sleek and dark. It hovered above the valley, kicking up dust and glowing mist. Lyra stepped back in panic. She recognized the model. High-rank officers used those crafts. And there was only one officer who would dare come for Oren himself. The side door slid open. A tall man in dark armor stepped out. His face was sharp, his eyes cold. His voice carried through the valley with cruel confidence. "Oren Hale, you have interfered for the last time. Hand over the alien unit and come with me. If you resist, I will classify you as hostile to the corporation." Lyra felt her breath vanish. Director Varys had arrived. Oren moved slightly in front of her, like a guardian standing between her and a storm. "You touched what is mine to protect," Oren said in a calm, sharp tone. "And now you will answer for everything you have done." Varys laughed. "You are alone, Oren. Your empire is no longer yours." Oren's eyes glowed with quiet fire. "Then watch how one man can still shake the stars." Lyra felt the ground shift under her feet. She realized the war had truly begun, and she stood beside the only human who dared to fight it for her. Asterisk. The valley fell silent as Oren and Director Varys faced each other. Fog drifted across the ground like slow-moving ghosts. Lyra stood behind Oren with trembling hands pressed to her chest. She could hardly breathe. The moment felt too big, too heavy. The fate of her people rested on this one meeting. The fate of Oren's empire rested here too. Varys lifted his chin with sharp pride. You cannot win Oren. The corporation belongs to me now. I hold every command unit, every outpost, every research division. Your era is finished. Oren stepped forward with calm steps. His voice carried no fear. You hold systems built by my hand. You lead soldiers trained under my laws. You control nothing that I cannot reclaim. Varys laughed as the landing craft lights shimmered behind him. You speak like the old Oren Hale, a man who once ruled markets and alliances, but you disappeared. You abandoned everything. I filled the void you left. Oren's eyes narrowed. I left to prevent a war on another front. I trusted men like you to uphold the treaties. Instead, you twisted my work into cruelty. Varys gestured at Lyra with casual coldness. Her kind is valuable. Their minds adapt faster than ours. Their biology responds to technology in ways we cannot. They are tools, nothing more. Lyra stepped back in horror. Oren stepped forward like a barrier rising between two worlds. She is not a tool, Oren said. She is a child. She carries a future her people deserve to live. And I will not allow you to turn life into something you own, Varys smirked. You speak of protection, but you stand alone. Your authority is gone. Oren lifted his wrist device and tapped. A single command. A soft pulse of blue light rippled across the valley. The sky above them flickered as if some invisible curtain had been pulled aside. Dozens of hidden drones appeared overhead. Not Varys drones, Oren drones, sleek and black and silent. They hovered in strict formation waiting for orders. Varys froze for the first time. What is this? These models do not belong to any Division 1 control. Oren's voice grew deeper. I kept one division hidden, a small one. Loyal only to me. Built for moments when the galaxy forgets the meaning of justice. Lyra stared at the sky with wide glowing eyes. Oren was not one man against an empire. He was one man leading a force built in the shadows for the purpose of restoring peace. Drones projected a live broadcast into the sky. Lines of coded files and official reports appeared above them like floating screens. Footage of the experiments, orders signed by Varys, test logs, secret communications. Everything Varys had. Hidden was now visible. Oren said, the entire corporation sees this now. Every commander, every officer, every civilian. Your crimes are no longer shadows. Varys stepped back. His voice cracked with disbelief. You cannot do this. You cannot expose me to the galaxy. Oren looked at him with steady fire in his eyes. I already have. Lyra watched as a message came through Oren's device. A voice spoke through it. Master Hale, Corporate Council confirms your authority as primary founder. Varys is removed from command effective immediately, Varys shouted. No, I built my power with fear. You cannot take it away with truth. Oren shook his head. Fear is weak. Fear collapses the moment anyone stands against it. Humanity rises because we choose courage over cruelty. Varys rushed forward with sudden rage. He aimed a blade at Oren. Lyra gasped and reached out, but Oren moved with swift controlled motion. He caught Varys' arm and pushed him to the ground with one sharp strike. Varys hit the dirt with a cry of shock. Oren stood over him like a judge. This ends now. The drones surrounded Varys and locked him in glowing restraints. He screamed. Empty threats, but no one listened anymore. Lyra walked to Oren slowly, her steps weak with emotion. You saved me. You saved my people. Nobody ever fought for us before. Oren crouched to her level with gentle eyes. Your people deserve to live in freedom. I only corrected a wrong created in my name. Lyra reached out and hugged him. This time not out of fear, but out of gratitude and trust. Oren placed a protective hand on her back. You will never run again, he told her. Your world will rebuild. And I will stand beside you until it does. The sun rose behind them, spreading warm light across the valley. The machines powered. Down. The forest glowed with soft colors of dawn. Lyra looked up at Auron with hope shining in her eyes. Humans are not monsters after all. Auron smiled gently. No, humanity stands tall not because of power, but because of heart. And together they walked toward a future shaped by truth. A future where fear no longer ruled the stars. A future where humanity proved once again humans are the heroes of their own story. Asterisk.